You know, they could tear down all this mess around here if you ask me. Change is a good thing. As long as they ain't building no liquor stores and no titty bars, I'm cool with it. Hey,
Oh, wait a minute now, Cap.
Wait, what was that? Did this character actually say they were open to development in their neighborhood? No, you don't need to get your hearing checked. This sentiment does creep into movies from time to time. So, real estate developers should be thrilled that audiences are hearing this message, right? Not so fast. Because, as usual, movie developers never miss an opportunity to squander an opportunity and ruin things for the rest of us. And more often than not, it's actually the projects themselves that spoil things. Horrific monstrosities that no person in their right mind would want on Earth, let alone in their neighborhood. Curious what Hollywood has to say about us and our abominations. Buildings. Let's grab some popcorn and watch some movies.
Guys, I love Bull Mountain as much as anyone else, but a little change, it's not going to hurt this place.
I don't know, Rick. I mean, why would we even want this place to change?
It doesn't happen very often, but occasionally, very occasionally, audiences are exposed to the idea that it could be okay to support development if a project aligns with the community's hopes for the future. And that's where real estate developers always get it wrong, because their projects never enhance the community. They never fit in with the community. On the contrary, more often than not, they want to completely wipe the community off the map.
Now, wait a minute, don't bite my head off. I've got all 12 blocks, everything, with the exception of one little lot, and I can't get the man to sell.
Those 12 blocks are absolutely useless to me unless I get every inch of them.
Agree to your offer? I think we're...
It's gotta be everyone on the block, everyone, or the deal's off.
Oh, we're heading into the canyon.
You heard the man. Everyone has to go. You'll never hear a movie developer pitch an adaptive reuse of the abandoned warehouse down the block. If they can't take over the whole block, the whole street, the whole neighborhood, they just aren't interested. Of course, it's rare that we actually get to see one of these neighborhood nuking buildings come to fruition. Our intrepid, progress-halting heroes are pretty good at ensuring real estate developers' projects never see the light of day. So, instead, it's usually through absurd 3D models that we learn just how awful these buildings really are. Gigantic shapes, not only out of scale with the neighborhood, but out of scale with human existence. And it's not just that they're huge, they're also tasteless. Time and again, these films hammer home the idea that real estate developers don't understand design. They'd like nothing more than to stick giant, ugly piles of bricks anywhere they can, if they think it'll earn them a few dollars. I mean, what is this thing? Who would want this across the street from their house? Beyond that, who could possibly be proud of something like this? Who would want their name attached to this project? Oh, that's right. Don't forget, we're dealing with the most shameless, egotistical corner of humanity imaginable. But then, how could you forget? The movies won't let you. Of course, back in reality, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a real estate developer branding their projects or their company with their own name. But we're not talking about reality. We're talking about the movies, where audiences absorb ideas about who real estate developers are and what they want. And in that world, real estate developers slap their names and faces all over their projects because to them, these buildings aren't just cash cows. They're also monuments to themselves and their own greatness. And that self-serving self-involvement is exactly what invites the wrath of the neighborhood and causes the developer's downfall. There's a lesson for us here. Remember, in some movies, communities are open to the idea of real estate development. It's the developers themselves who blow it by proposing these monstrous projects. This sends a message that communities understand development better than real estate developers do. Only they have the vision to see what's right for their neighborhood. Real estate developers, on the other hand, are so blinded by their egos and their greed that rather than coming up with decent, desirable projects that communities might welcome, they come up with monstrosities instead. We never get to see the care that real estate developers pour into their projects, their passion for design, their pride in doing good work, in making communities better. Of course, that wouldn't make for a very exciting movie. What do you think? Are you letting residents cast themselves in a horror movie where your project is the monster? If that sounds familiar, check out The Secret Formula and see what you could do to flip the script. Unless you like playing Dr. Frankenstein, in which case, don't be surprised when audiences cheer for this.